Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad. He's the brains behind the whole outfit. The song you're going to do today, I'm Your Captain, you wrote that and you get the writing credit for that, right?
Absolutely.
Well, thank God.
So you do get the checks for that one.
Yes.
All right.
When you did Howard Stern with Mark Slaughter and Mark Farner, did Don give you any grief? Because we know about Don Brewer and Mark Farner and those two. You know, they just can't get it together. And if you go on my community board and you see I've interviewed Mark, I had Don, people, the fans attack Don. They're like, they look at him like the evil stepbrother. You know, they treat him like the evil, whatever, the Cinderella, like, you know. And somewhere in the middle, there's lies the truth, okay? But when you did Howard Stern with Mark Slaughter and Mark Farner, did Don give you any grief?
No, not at all. I mean, it's a great story how when I, you know, David Fishoff's that guy that does all those fantasy camps, right? And this is funny. So now I have the Grand Funk gig. Jack Blades was working on the camps from Night Ranger and recommended, you know, he needed more counselors and new people. So I get a call from David Fishoff. Now, Fishoff has a connection with Grand Funk. He managed them for a while during the reunion, okay? The Bosnia record was all put together with them. I knew very little about that. Of course, I watched them on TV and I was familiar with the album and I was excited that there was that reunion. But then it fell apart, right? Just like you always knew that Ace and Peter would fall apart with the reunion tour with Kiss. You just know these people aren't going to change. Whatever is those dysfunctional things are just going to come up again. So I remember Fishoff calls me and it was a classic one. I'm glad I was sharp on my toes with it. And he goes like, "Oh, you Mark Farner backstabber." And I'm like, oh, let me take the knife out of my back. Hold on a second. Hang on. You know, David, if you want to hire me for your camp, which I'd be honored to do, you're hiring me for 12 years of being the lead guitarist of Kiss. Nothing to do with Mark Farner. So please don't fault me for doing a job, okay? You know, continuing their legacy, playing Mark's riffs respectfully and performing. I'm a guitar player. I got to work. So he backed down. He said, "I'm going to ask Mark if it's okay to hire you." I said, "Please do. And please send him my best. I'm a fan too." You know what I mean? Now it gets better. Now we're doing camp together. There's Mark kind of giving me this look. And I knew exactly what to say to Mark. First of all, my brother Bob played on his solo record that Dick Wagner produced.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now, Mark's a guitar player, but Dick Wagner wanted another guitar player there. It's my brother. I remember the gift Mark Farner gave my brother. It was like a vintage Civil War replica gun type thing, which is kind of, you know, strange, of course, how many people gift guns, but he's from Michigan. I get it. And I still have it. You know what I mean? It's still part of the, Bob held on to it, and then now I have it. But anyway, I was able to break the ice with Mark and just say, "Mark, I'm a fan of yours. Please don't hold anything against me having this job. I don't get involved with any of that kind of stuff, but just know that my brother and you know, worked with you, and you know, any help you need at this camp, if there's, when you perform, you know, I know the material, I'll be happy to, you know, support you and play it." And he loved that because that's the God's honest truth. What I don't have a beef with him, and I don't listen. I know there's one side and another side. I wasn't there for any side, so I don't know, as you know. Okay, I'm more familiar with a lot of the Ace says this, Gene and Paul say that, and I wasn't there either with that. I just hear what happened. That's why I can only talk about what I know that's happened to me personally, you know. So anyway, and then I was so flattered because he got the opportunity in New York to do the Howard Stern show, and he handpicked the counselors. He didn't need to ask me to play the acoustic guitar for "I'm Your Captain," okay, and he did, and I got to do the Howard Stern show with him. That's great. Don Brewer knows when Mark Farner does an interview, if my name gets mentioned, he says kind things about me because we had that relationship. Don doesn't care. That's not their relationship. So what are you going to do? It would be very, very unprofessional for anyone to say when they have a beef with someone to prevent someone else to work with them or to you know, be a musician with that person. It doesn't make sense. So of course Don knows that he likes me, but that has nothing to do with their disagreements. It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So Don didn't say anything to you like going when you came back. So did he say anything about me?
No.
Nothing like that.
He's really all business. He's not Nah, he's not gossipy that way.
He's
If
not
anything,
like
I mean,
me.
sometimes we'll talk about the news in a sense or sports, but no, Don, no. And I
He
know
doesn't
that
have any paranoia like I have in myself. Okay,
exactly.
right?
I know. No, it's funny. I reached out to a friend of mine recently. I'm going to keep them nameless, but someone I've worked with in the past, but I haven't heard from him in a while. And I sent him some things that I would think he'd go like, "This looks great. Thanks, Bruce. The Happy New Year's." And I know he likes me and his wife loves me and Lisa. And I got nothing. I write his wife because I'm sensitive too. I go like, I know that he knows someone that might have said some things about me. Is this why he didn't respond to me? Because I'm like really hurt. And then all of a sudden I get a message, 12 hours later, like, "Bruce, I love you." You know what I mean? Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? So it's terrible what the mind can do. And that's why all that anxiety about moving on from Grand Funk, how am I going to explain it to Don? Those things, and I'll give a lesson to everybody in life. Those hard things, okay? It's great to get some counsel from professional people who have no emotional attachment to it, a manager, a lawyer, a businessman, because they all have these crazy contracts, right? And I remember having those discussions with them, and then make a list, make your bullet points, what you want to say. It's not a script, okay? It's just, if you lose your way, you go back to that point that you wanted to mention. So when you have to do that hard conversation that could go in a million different directions, have a little script, have a little role play with somebody, and know what to do, just like the way people who have to give speeches or the debates, you know what I mean?
We'll have more with Bruce coming your way. Just make sure you subscribe and hit that bell to be notified so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. But if you want to become a member right now today, join Artist on Record on YouTube. You get to hang with us when we record these interviews unedited with your favorite artist. In the meantime, click on that box right there and put your comments down below. Who loves you, baby? We do. We'll catch you all later.